Okay. Well, we are now at about 3:01. So I think I'm going to go get started. I know people are still joining. I see John's here and Aaron, wonderful. And Shelley from Lake County, wonderful. Good to see you all. Thanks for joining us for this Dark Side Cooperatives meeting. I'm glad that we're all together here. And with this meeting, I'd like to just welcome anyone who is new. We have a agenda, which if you haven't seen it, I think I provided it in our announcement. Anyone who is new, I've noticed that Jerry Gudgill. Can you say that to make sure that it's correct?
Gudgel.
Thank you, Gudgill. My apologies.
That's quite all right.
You were uh, tipped off to join our meeting by my friend Jim Stanger, who
Yeah.
was once in Nevada and very much part of this meeting. And I know he invited you and your colleagues with the Olympic Peninsula. Patty, I see you're here too.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Same story.
Same story. So I think what we'll do is just really quick. So I just kind of said where you're from, but is there a little quick thing that you could like to share with us? Like your reason for being part of this meeting, why you'd like to join our meeting? We're so happy to have you.
Well, for me, I think it's partly learning the scope of organizations throughout the country that's surprising to me. I got into Dark Skies International a couple of years ago, and I was thinking that was pretty much it, but there's all these little sub chapters and other organizations. So it's a learning process as much as anything.
Absolutely. And so you are representing an area that you have a new Dark Sky chapter.
We're just trying to get it off the ground.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're here. And I think there's no need to reinvent the wheel. This is a place where I hope people feel included and welcome. And so let's see, Patty,
Yeah,
do you want to say
sure.
something really quick so we can see you?
Yes. Same as Jerry, just learning what you guys are about and definitely invested in helping our Dark Sky Olympic Peninsula get off the ground. I had a meeting today with our local Audubon Society, the Olympic Peninsula Audubon Society, because we're trying to prepare a dark skies bird migration intersection and do a little presentation and do more presentations. So I'm kind of looking around for resources in the way of slideshows and information and things that make dark skies and birds sexy, to the general public. And it just sounded like you guys had possibly some things I might be interested in. So I'm here to learn.
Wonderful. And I don't see, other than our special speakers today, anyone else that's new, but just for everybody's sake, for Agnes and Carrie, who I will introduce here in just a moment, and Patty and Jerry. One of our guests here is we have Zach from National Park Service. This is the coordination of the Dark Side Cooperatives, started with the National Park Service. So hats off to them. And at this moment, I do not, and Emma Brown is also here from the National Park Service, wonderful. But one person who's often on the calls that you will probably have already been meeting with or at some point with is Michael Reimer. And he is our Dark Sky International for the Southwest. So you may have someone else in your region. And so he was not able to join, but it's a nice, we work in tandem. There's similar messages, but we're not the same thing as the Dark Sky, International. We do represent, we have their participation and we help them and they help us by working together. So I just want to make that clear. So welcome. And I think without anything else to do, I would like to present our guest speakers. Agnes Chavez is the founder and director of the STEMarts Lab in Taos, New Mexico. She is, as I have read on their website, quote, a new media artist, an educator, and a creative producer whose work merges art, science, and technology to create data visualized light sound experiences. And with the STEMarts Lab, which she founded in 2009, Agnes has been designing large-scale sci-art installations, as they call them, for festivals and art science organizations. And as in combination with a STEAM program for youth, and that stands for science, technology, engineering, art, and math, where they learn and produce alongside professionals. And joining Agnes, our other guest is Carrie Beam. She's with us today, a communications manager for STEMarts Lab, who also is an educator and a storyteller and a public relations specialist. And you may have seen in our last newsletter, Carrie's article that she provided entitled Where Art, Science, and Tech Intersect to Empower Youth. So, and lastly, one last thing, I'd like to acknowledge Gina Pearson, one of our core members of this group who works out of the BLM Taos Fearless office. Gina introduced me to our guest just a few weeks ago, and it was at that time the STEM Arts team was preparing for their Astro Tours experience, and that took place on July 12th. And Gina said she was at the event and it was outstanding, would love to be here, but is so unfortunately hiking in the Dolomites in northern Italy. So thanks to Gina for making this introduction to the Dark Side Cooperatives. And I'm going to pass it over to Agnes. Thank you for being with us. And we've asked for just a few moments of your time to present on your STEMarts Lab. Pass it to you.
Thank you for a wonderful introduction. You've said it all. So my presentation is going to be very visual, because sometimes you hear these words like sci-art and productions and you're like, what is that? What is new media? So I'm just going to show you videos. I'm going to show you pictures. I'm going to take you right into the projects, and then you can ask questions afterwards. So I'm going to share my screen now. So thank you again, Lisa, for inviting me, and thank you all for being here today to listen to my presentation. So just give me a minute to share. Can you see my screen?
You look great. Thank you. Perfect.
Okay. All right. So here's our little tagline. As Lisa mentioned, we work with youth, preparing the next generation. I'm going to jump right into a video of a VR installation that we did around the topic of space.
What do you see out there in the dark? For thousands of years, we've looked to the stars to find our place in the universe. Reach out and feel the universe.
So that was last year at the Paseo Festival, which is a festival in my small town of Taos, New Mexico, that I'm one of the founding members of. We do it every year. And it was exploring space through virtual reality. So what is STEMarts Lab? So we are a nonprofit. And as Lisa mentioned, we're a STEAM youth leadership program, but we also produce these sci-art installations. So we design them with our creative team of artists and scientists and cultural specialists, and we build the youth program around it. So they learn from the scientists and create with the artists. And then at the end, like that installation you saw there, it's shared at festivals, museums, community places that like to share this kind of experience. It does have a core curriculum that we've been developing for many years. You can see the 4 main components. We'll always make sure to integrate the complex science, the new media art, and 21st century skills. So they're learning about creativity, communication, collaboration, but also all of the new emerging technologies. And notice at the center is always the core of our mission, which is really developing that empathy, that connection to the universe, and also looking to the future to imagine a better world. And this is just some of the many people that we work with exploring the universe together. Very interdisciplinary. We form partnerships with organizations that are connected to science and technology, space, and now hopefully you all through the dark skies. So people always ask me, why as an artist, why even with science are you focusing on space? So personally, I do believe in the power of exploring our role, our place in the universe, and that it really, like the overview effect that you might have heard, that it really has deeper impacts on ourselves as human beings. It expands our understanding of ourselves and our connection to others. And we also believe that it increases stewardship, a feeling of wanting to protect the earth and beyond into space. There's a term that I recently came across, space humanism, and I really love it because it's a particular angle to space that, because you get into space exploration, you start thinking about Elon Musk and rockets and all of that, and it's really not really at the core of how we approach space. So space humanism, I thought, was a great way to describe it. It's an emerging perspective. It emphasizes the role of humanity in shaping the future of space in a way that prioritizes inclusivity, sustainability, and the well-being of all people rather than just technological advancement. And then some of the organizations, and you guys as well, through the dark skies, I'm so glad to have met you all. It's another perspective, right, on space. So we have many people involved in terms of scientists, astrophysicists, particle physicists, but one of the key people that work with our youth is Arwen Hubbard. So she's a master's in planetary science. She also was certified as a NASA Solar System ambassador. She's also a science communicator and a podcaster and an amazing mentor and teacher. And she meets with our students once a week via Zoom, and they work on several projects. So it's part of Taos chapter, but it's going to be expanding to hopefully other towns. And they are working on producing 2 things. One is the Astro Tour. We're going to show you a video of that. And the other one is a podcast series. The podcast series is completely written and researched and written and narrated by students that join the program. Here are just 2 of our episodes. They started at the beginning of the year and they are now on episode 12. They produce one every 2 weeks. In the beginning, Arwen was really heavily involved in all aspects, teaching them how to record via Zoom, by the way. It's amazing, the technology. So they are from all parts of New Mexico, which is one of the reasons why we do this virtually, so that we can reach students not just in our town of Taos, but anywhere in New Mexico and the world. We do have international students on the team too. And they learned how to edit and produce these podcasts. So I hope you will have an opportunity. I'll share the links later so you can actually hear their podcasts. Now, this was our first Astro Tour of the series. We've been developing it since the beginning of the year. We did our first iteration at the Harwood Museum. This is the back courtyard. It was produced entirely by Arwen and the team of space students, but also we have other STEAM teams. We have a STEAM team led by Ian that designs the art, the digital media, augmented reality art. And I'm going to show you a little clip of that. So there were 2 instructors involved in this. So people come, they sat in the backyard. It was a beautiful evening. Of course, it was cloudy, but have no fear. We have augmented reality assisted night sky viewing. So we basically had this wonderful opportunity to sit in the courtyard. It wasn't raining, but it's raining right now, and I have to go close that door. One moment.
Thank you, Lisa, for dropping the link to the website for STEMarts Lab. And I just dropped in the link to the podcast playlist on YouTube if anyone's interested.
Thank you, Carrie. That was a nice rain break to get that in there because I'm not able to see the chat right now. I have it on full screen. So
Great.
here you see the beginning of the evening. People came and listened to the storytellers, and then we moved to the front where we had the telescopes and the augmented reality experience to look at the sky. So I'm going to play this video, which kind of takes you through the experience that night.
My name is Henrietta Gomez. That's my paycheck name. I always say that. My real name is the football pillar, which was given to me by my grandfather. Sometimes we'd climb up on the roofs of our house and just lay there and stare. We didn't have telescopes, but we were able to appreciate the night sky.
And I just want to spend a few minutes talking to you all about your relationship with the night sky and about how it can make you a better person. But often when we think about space, we can forget that Earth is part of space. We are part of space, and space is nature too. And the same processes that are happening here are happening on a big scale as well, and we're kind of that.
Giant. So it's one of these.
Oh, is that wild?
Look. The other thing really important about Devon is that it's interchangeable.
But yeah, it's supposed to be like just events for these events. That's a star, yeah. It's very cool. Okay, very cool. And it is a lot hotter and a lot bigger than our sun. And then the last one is even bigger and hotter. It's a blue gas giant. Because I never really see. You can see all the planets. You can see deep sky objects on here. So if you want to know more about that, you click on it.
This is a design called the Newtonian reflector because it was invented by Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton, you're right.
And because it's blue means it's hotter and younger, just like with planes, for example.
I really like space because I feel like it gives me like something to think about when I'm like, oh, like my problems are so big, but then I'm like, oh, actually no, they're really not. Like we live on a tiny little planet on a tiny solar system, like in the cosmic web of everything, and it's just like kind of like grounding for me. I'm like, okay, nothing really matters that much. It's like, which is like, oh, what is he? I love that, yeah.
So there you got a little glimpse. Those were the students that worked with Arwen. You got to see Arwen there, and they get a chance to be the guides, the night sky guides, and they learn their script, they get their facts down straight, and they get to share what they learned. And one of the girls said to me afterwards, I said, how did you like it? She says, I felt very smart. And I said, that's good, you are smart. So they really learn a lot, and then they get to share it in a fun way. This is a close-up of one of the generative art. So it's coded. It's called creative coding. So all that art that you saw, they created, and it's created through code, and it appears like the way Stellarium appears, you know, in the sky, overlaid over the constellation.
This piece is about galaxy filaments, and galaxy filaments is another word for the cosmic web. As you see, there's specific points, which are nodes, and they're connected by the strands. So if you kind of press on it, you can see that it separates a little bit, and it's kind of simulating how the web stretches and moves as things pass through it and pass by it. This code visualizes the cosmic web which is the largest structures in the universe that kind of is the background of the universe, if that makes sense. It represents the distribution of galaxies in the universe, where they are arrayed in long, interconnected filaments separated by vast voids.
Okay, so that's the Astro Tour, and then just a brief mention of another installation that's traveling right now, and hopefully that you can help be a part of. It's called Space Messengers. It's an immersive mixed reality installation, and I'm going to show another video of where we took it to Guadalajara, to the planetarium there.
Oscar Galicia, and I am part of Space Messengers from the city of Guadalajara in Mexico.
Futures thinking tells us that the future is not something that will happen to you tomorrow, but is being created by everyone today.
I find very inspiring because it means that we can make different choices now, and we can make choices that can lead us to a different place and a better future.
All the stars are moving very fast, and if there were no dark matter, they would fly off into space.
El avatar le explicó a mi hermana cómo un asteroide chocó con la Tierra y la Tierra se partió.
It was an amazing experience to speak with experts in native tribes, in physics, and even with a science who works in the Central Collider.
There's this round accelerator called the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider. It's 27 kilometers around. And at 4 places along that accelerator, we bring protons through each other.
Talking about the interstellar future of humans allowed us to fly our imaginations. There are many possibilities in space.
Okay, I'm at 14 minutes now, so I'm going to zoom by here. I'm not going to show the next one. Just to let you know that Space Messengers is coming to Taos, New Mexico. And there's Carrie, if you can put that link, spacemessengers.com. There's a way that you can send your space message, your thoughts about the dark skies, about the universe. And it appears, if you saw these messages floating, these are messages that have been collected through all of our workshops that we've done over the years since 2020. This started during COVID. And now we've added AI to it. And so now we're creating a large language model with all of these messages from communities, and we're hoping to reach out to your dark sky community to get your voices to be part of this, this database that's traveling. It's a custom GPT that we're creating, and it is a, it's our own AI model that we are designing and integrating. Our scientists and all of our experts are providing their resources. And so we're training the AI messenger to answer questions live on site. And it's trained to go first to our resources and then to go out. And then basically it's very much designed specifically for this installation. It's called a vertical AI agent. So we're looking for communities to kind of help to be a part of that, of training our AI for the Space Messengers project. So we have the Astro Tour, the podcast, and the Space Messengers are our 3 space projects happening right now. All right, I guess I will stop and breathe, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And maybe just turn it over real quickly to Carrie. Is there anything that I missed that you would like to share? If you'd like to be the first.
No, I just wanted to express gratitude to Gina and Lisa in the group here for having us today, and you all have been very patient and kind to watch all of our pretty pictures on the screen. But just know that STEMarts Lab, while we are training workforce and using high technology and everything, it does come down to helping our young people understand the importance of preserving dark skies. We want to be fellow advocates and partners in that initiative to collaborate on outreach to have our young people see the value and hopefully preserve more of the dark skies around us. And it pertains to our humanity and our human connection, as Agnes said. It's our connection to the universe, it's a connection to each other. It's the space science that we study, but it's storytelling too. So there's just a lot involved here, and it's the dark skies that are holding us all together. So we just appreciate the opportunity to join you in this conversation today.
Thank you. Questions?
First, thank you. That was outstanding, so exciting. Congratulations for what you have already accomplished, and that these events just are just so interesting and so overwhelmingly cool. So one thing that we talked about briefly was how we can, as a dark sky cooperatives that are growing and in various places. I know you're kind of based clearly in Taos and New Mexico. How much are you going to be moving? Would you be willing to go in other states and go to our events in different states with your ambassadors?
Yeah, we do have an international program. So we've mostly been doing New Mexico and then other partner countries. Our partner countries right now are Guadalajara, city countries, Guadalajara, Mexico, and Portugal. But we are interested in partnerships outside of New Mexico, but we're growing, slowly in that direction. The way we expand beyond is virtually. So we're looking for ways to do things virtually to connect with other cities outside of New Mexico, but I don't know if how fast we can get there in terms of traveling over there with my students would be a little harder for that. I don't know if Carrie, what you think in terms of how fast we can expand in terms of our presence.
Yeah, the Southwest region might be more attainable. So for instance, if we went to like the Four Corners area, we can reach Colorado, Utah, Arizona in that way. We've been talking about going down to Austin for the South by Southwest Festival. I know that's an urban area, but perhaps timing wise, I don't know if there's something along the way we could pick up, but there's probably some near targets within the collaborative that could be considered for live events. We are a nonprofit organization. We are always on the lookout for funding and financial support. And of course, that helps us to grow and scale and travel and reach more people, bring more students in, collaborate with other schools and organizations. So we're just in a really exciting phase right now. We actually have a new website that's coming on that's going to look fantastic. And so we'll be happy to share that out with you. But just know we're kind of in this place where we're getting some really big things together, and hopefully that is going to be a launch pad for us to really take it to the next level. So all these conversations are coming at a great time, and maybe we can map out some locations and some dates and start planning towards that end.
One idea that comes to mind is the way we do it with international in order to expand is we don't always go there in person. We find students in those cities that work with us virtually and become the ambassadors. Then all the content is virtual. It's like a QR code that is, on a piece of paper on a stand. And then the students in those that are part of your community could be the experience guides at one of your star parties. So that's kind of how we've done it with other installations, that then they take the lead. So we should talk about that. Like if you've got some youth or some people that would like to take it on and then work with Arwen and our team, and then you all do the Astro Tour just by adding this feature to your star parties. That's doable. So it's finding students in your cities that will join and lead.
I think that sounds great. Are there any comments from our other guests here on the call today? I think that's what I was hoping, is that there would be something that would be translatable, you know, because we're all in that same boat. Traveling is difficult. We have our own home bases,
Right.
you know, and we want to recognize the good work that's happening. And I love that, you know, the inclusion of students to promote in their minds, and they provide as a model for other kids. You know, this is a cool thing to do, and it's really fascinating.
Do all of you have like young people that are part of your groups? I see one person from Nevada. I don't know where you all are from.
I'm going to let Matthias answer first. He wanted to speak. We do have groups, Agnes, in our like astronomy clubs. That might be the quickest way to get to kids. We don't have children, usually youths, on our calls. But I think a lot of us might have access to groups in our neighborhoods, our communities. Matthias, go ahead.
Thank you. This is a great presentation that you put together. I was wondering, since I'm in charge of the astronomy festival at Cedar Breaks in the middle of September, and I saw some of the activities where you hold up your phone and you have your VR glasses. If you can share some of those resources, because I'd like to integrate them in the astronomy festival.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Where is Cedar Breaks?
It's in beautiful Southwest Utah, Cedar City. We are a national monument, and we are the best dark sky park in the whole world, not just because I'm there.
Okay, Cedar City.
Okay, that was a joke.
CB Astronomy Festival? Is that it?
The Southwest Astronomy Festival. This
Oh,
is
I see it. I see it. See, that is exactly what we look for. So for something like that, we could travel and bring our installation, you know, to a festival. So that's what Carrie was saying. We are going to be traveling to South by Southwest. We could do the same thing to Astronomy Festival, and then we just bring the installation and our students, or work with your own students there. So that is how we could do it. That's a perfect model, because we like to travel to different festivals. So we should communicate about that.
wonderful. Thank you, Agnes.
Yeah, I'm looking at your website now. So yeah, maybe send me a link. I think the links that I'm getting are kind of weird. Can you put the link in the chat box there?
For the astronomy festival?
For the astronomy festival? Yeah, I'm not finding
This may not be the best one, Matthias. I just put one in there.
Yeah, it's
You might have a better one.
oh, this is good. Yeah.
Okay, NPS, it's National Park Service, Agnes. So, and I can share Matthias's email later. And actually, there's another speaker, someone who wrote in today, had to leave the meeting early from not far, but from the Great Basin National Park Observatory. There's a Great Basin National Park Foundation, and one of the executive director is interested in talking to you after the meeting. So there's more people, and they're close by. Anyway,
Yeah.
there's and this may resonate with others. The conversation may continue to flow. Any
Thank
other
you.
comments?
Lisa, if I can jump in, this is Brad in Reno.
Great.
And kind of similar to the comments that Matthias had, just wanted to mention that it might be too soon or to incorporate some of these ideas that Agnes had, but we have, in particular, there are two festivals coming up. We've got with the Nevada State Division of Recreation, we're doing Cosmos in the Desert at Lahontan Lake, which was rescheduled from last April. We're doing that on August 16th, and I think Chelsea would be open to any ideas for public engagement and interaction, and they've got nighttime nature walks and art projects and things along with telescope viewing that we'll be providing. But there might be a conversation that we might have with Smart Labs on some of these activities, and not to be confused with the other, what was it, Cedar Break we have in mid-September, we have our own Cedarville Dark Sky Festival with Friends of Nevada Wilderness on September 13th. That same comments, I think as far as getting day and nighttime activities to engage the public would be welcome for any ideas. So maybe we can have an offline discussion about some of these.
Perfect. I'm looking at it, and there's a lot of things already built in with youth. So, I don't know if you noticed in the podcast flyer, it said Taos chapter. And the reason is we got funding to start a Taos chapter, but my vision is that there could be chapters in Nevada and Utah and so forth. So the way to start that is get like a small group, even just 2 leads, and youth is 14 to 25. So it's not just high school. They could be, we like to get those students that maybe didn't go off to college or just kind of still looking for what to do or looking for real job skills. They just graduated. It could be that age group that you already have. They could be adults, but young adults. And then they could take the lead to do like the Nevada chapter. And then if it's very simple, it could be very project focused. They could, meet with Arwen and have some meetings and then present themselves. If we can't make it at that time, they could be the leads at that festival, at your festival. So I'm really looking for creative ways to expand that doesn't require me to always go. Of course, I want to, but if there's a conflict and I can't, then why not try to do that? Create a chapter within your city that could present this material. And then that answers your question, Matthias. In that case, we would share that content that those students helped to create, that were part of it. We don't have kits that just go out like that because that's not our strategy. Our strategy is to build relationships with the youth and they stay with the program. Some of those students have been with us for 4 or 5 years. They once started at 13, now they're 17, one student has been with me for 10 years, went off to college, came back, they're rotating through the program. So we're about like building relationships with our chapters. So think of it like that. Think about maybe someone in your community that wants to take the lead, and then they contact us and see if we can make it happen that way. So 2 festivals. Send me, we got the link there. And
Yes.
can follow up with you, Bradley, and follow up with you, Matthias, on that.
Yeah.
I also wanted to I do not have a personal contact with a solar system ambassador, part of the NASA's program. So my guess is I did put a link there as well. I think there are local representatives that maybe they would know Arun, and they could coordinate, via, Zoom as well, so that there's an in-house solar system ambassador. So
that would be great. Then they would contact us. They would, we fill them in on the project and they could take the lead with those students. Amazing.
Yeah. Super neat. Well, thank you for your presentation, Agnes. I know you were a little concerned about your time today. And if there aren't any questions, going once, going twice, we're going to say, we're going to end the recording and transition into our meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Stop the recording.